you ready? I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And this is Slipknot Custer. This is actually interesting. So somebody brought this up in a fireside, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you too can be part of firesides. They're very, very simple. We usually
but complex at the same time.
We usually don't tell people to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We usually don't do that. However, and it's not a matter of conviction. It's just we forget to do it. But one of the major benefits of subscribing to the channel, especially if you click the ring bell thingy, is that when we go notification bell, when we go live, you'll get a notification. Inshallah, that's how it's supposed to work. And then we hang out. It's usually 2 hours long. So the last fireside's up there, and we hang out for 2 hours.
I say it's complicated because we don't plan them. Right. We just decide to do them.
Right. Right, so I'm like in a fireside mood today, so I'll probably end up doing one, well, by the time you're seeing this, I would have done it yesterday night. Mm-hmm. So there you go. For timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up at Middle America with Vin and Sori. Mm-hmm. This is Slipknot Custer. We are, we're using the video from the Slipknot YouTube site, so here's what happens if you're new to the channel. We don't cut up the songs like you see at other reaction channels. No disrespect to the other reaction channels, they're awesome. But the reason you do that is because if you don't cut up the song, you're going to get hit with a copyright claim. Mm-hmm. So a copyright claim makes it so that you can't monetize the video. We feel like the way around that is to play the whole video and then just monetize it via Patreon, right? So like, you know, $1 or whatever gets you in, and if you feel like supporting the channel and want us to continue full time without cutting up the video, that's what people do as an alternative. So that's one. The other thing is that when we play an official video from the actual site of the band, 9 times out of 10, they block it. So you can't even see it. On top of it being demonetized, it gets blocked. You can't even see it. So we're playing the actual official video from the Slipknot site, but if
it's a live video. It's
a live video, but if by the time you see this, it's not the same one from the Slipknot site, that's why. Okay, Custer.
And the link will be in the description to the actual one we watched.
For sure.
So if it gets blocked, that's what we'll do.
We got you covered, you beautiful
people.
So
you can still see what we've seen.
Custer, Slipknot.
And go.
Let's go.
Time to make some motherfucking noise, you crazy bitches! Alive and start raving fry in my line for encroaching on the purpose of this commercial free interruption. Due to the prolific nature of this statement, listener aggression is advised. It's times whenever I see a gun, I think about just how petty you are, and it blows my fucking mind. It blows my fucking mind. These days, I never seem to get enough. I'm tired of shit, I wanna go home. No waste my fucking time. No waste my fucking time. Cause everything exceptional gets crushed by common people. Jealousy and ignorance and all the common evils. This planet isn't special. Go wretches made of clay. I'm waiting for the punishment I know is on my way. God, got me up and fuck me up. God, got me up and fuck me up. God, got me up and fuck me up. Irreverence is my disease. It's in an end for you, not me. The son of a bitch is on his knees. The last man standing gets no blood. Somewhere on the toilet wall I read the words you formalized, and I find myself the truth. Something so profound and it was sitting there, surrounded by the gullets and the stars. Another victim of the refuse. Well, I've been saying this for years and you don't comprehend it. I fight hell and I fight fear because I understand it. Androgyny and insults, you try so hard to be difficult. You wanna win the war? Know what you're fighting for, so gun me up and fuck me up. and fuck me up. God, cut me up 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 and fuck me up.
On fire!
Yes!
Oh!
Sadly, COVID-19 is preventing us from going to these things.
Why did they? I would have remembered if we did this song at the.
No, I didn't.
They didn't do this song. Damn them! What the hell? This song is quite possibly the greatest concert song of all time.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
doing it live, you gotta kind of get the whatever.
Yeah.
Dad. They put that in the lyrics. Dad. That's how we used to come up with riffs. I used to say, "Hey, what about this?" Other people do that as well.
Oh, look at that. Professionals even.
Professionals. What in the world? Woo!
So, what? I actually wasn't reading the lyrics.
So I'm assuming this has something to do with Custer's Last Stand, or using that as a thing, because it says, it's called Custer. Custer's Last Stand with the
I remember. I do remember learning about that in school.
white
but I don't
dude, and
remember.
he thought he was all gangster. He's like, "Oh, we got these Indians, they're good," and then
yeah.
and the entire crew got killed, all of them, and then he made his last stand. So like, he's kind of been like the sort of metaphorical kind of point of what happens when you know you're going to lose, basically. Going into a situation when you know you're going to lose and you're going to make your last stand, basically, is I'm assuming that's what it is about, and it goes with Slipknot's, and it says the last man standing gets no pity. Which, again, Custer's Last Stand is what it's usually.
Okay.
So I'm assuming Custer is about that.
How do you
What?
lose when you have guns?
Oh. Well, the Native Americans had guns too eventually.
Oh,
They
okay.
started trading and stuff. And then the other thing is that if it doesn't matter if you have superior technology. I mean, if you're outnumbered and you don't
Or
have the
if they're
high
fighting,
ground,
yeah.
if you're outnumbered and you don't have the high ground, forget it. I mean, we were,
Or if you
we
go
lost
into the woods area. And
we
they
lost
have
18 guys in Somalia, and they had AK-47s, and 75% of those guys were fucked up on cot, and they still were able to hurt us pretty bad. I mean, we won that exchange. We killed about 500 to 800 of them. So I mean, in that sense, we won. But I mean, anyway, there's a lot of ways you can lose. The best way to lose is to overestimate your forces and underestimate the enemy. Okay, so half alive and stark raving free and maligned. That's interesting because it's usually stark raving mad. So I think when he says free here, he means that madness is freedom to some degree.
Oh, okay.
Right? Half alive and stark raving free,
Yeah.
but he replaces
that's
mad with free.
interesting,
So I think what he's saying here is that
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
but then it's one of those things where
They do look like the type of band that would say that.
it's one of those things where if you are sane in a crazy world, you're gonna look insane
Absolutely.
to crazy people. So it's one of those things where he's challenging the status quo and saying who's really free, who's really crazy. Are you sane because you're going along with the party line, really? But you're not really free. Obviously, that has a lot of implications for where we're living right now. As far as I'm about to shoot a Middle America video on this, on what the Democratic Party is doing to destroy itself because they're assuming people are just going to go along with their political blackmail, basically, where they're playing chicken with their constituency, which I think is pretty ridiculous. You guys did that last time, and we ended up with... Anyway, let's continue on. Half alive and stark raving free and maligned for encroaching on the purpose of this commercial-free interruption. Due to the prolific nature of this statement, listener aggression is advised. That's brilliant. Very, very brilliant. You know, because it usually says, due to the graphic nature of this thing, viewer discretion is advised. And he's saying listener aggression is advised. So he's preparing you for pain.
Yep. Listener aggression. Yes.
It's strange. Whenever I see a gun, I think about just how pretty you are, and it blows my... Oh, petty. I was thinking about you. It would have worked either way.
Oh.
Especially
Finally you say I look pretty.
Especially considering the conversation we had just before.
I know. Already, I was like, oh, Finn's going to tell me I look pretty. You came and goes, why are you crunching like that? You're like, you're lazy when you teach school.
Crunching like what? Crunching like what?
I was eating my chips.
You know when people like eat food and they go... I
mean, my mouth was closed. I mean, how can you... That's it.
Very
You're
sexy.
just crunching a chip.
Very sexy.
No pretty, just...
I think about just how petty you are, and it blows my mind. Yeah, it blows my mind. These days, I never seem to get enough. I'm tired of this shit. I want to go home. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. Because anything exceptional gets crushed by common people, with jealousy and ignorance and all their common evils. This planet isn't special. Collections made of clay. I'm waiting for the punishment. I know it's on my way. Woo! Brilliant. Who's going to punish you if the planet isn't special, though, Mr. Taylor?
Yeah.
Think about that. That is true, though. Anything exceptional gets crushed by common people. It's true.
Yeah, it is true. It's completely true.
What I found is that one of the worst crimes of all time is to recognize yourself that you're an exceptional person. When you have that
publicly,
when you have that understanding of yourself,
people don't want to hear it.
People get very, very upset of it because 90% of the people on the planet are morbidly insecure, and when they run into somebody who's not insecure, it triggers all sorts of fireworks.
You're intolerable.
Yeah, you become an intolerable person.
Take it down a couple notches.
Yeah. Yeah, well, isn't that kind of what happened with you growing up? That you were advised to take it down a couple notches, because you would be too dudes would have a problem with you or something like that. What was the issue?
Oh, well, it depends on what it was. You know, if it was, you probably just can you dress down a little bit because you're making other women feel uncomfortable. It makes them feel inferior. I'm like, I'm not trying to make anybody inferior. I'm just picking clothes that I like. And then, I was told, take it down a couple notches. Don't be so powerful because nobody's going to want to marry you in that condition. So, fake who you are and act a little dumber, act a little weaker, and then you probably get married.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, but do I want it that badly? I actually thought, no, I'm going to find somebody that's strong enough. But it...
What?
I lost hope in humanity. And I thought, no, I don't... Maybe that type of person really isn't out there.
And you surrendered at 24.
Yeah, then I met you. I said, oh. And then I said, oh, he's married. And then I said, well, that's it then.
And then you just quit. Fuck the farm.
I said, anyone will do. I'm just kidding.
Wow. That was... Hey, if you're watching, fuck you very much. You bitch. Come see me. You know where I live.
Oh, boy. Oh,
no, seriously, come see me. Okay. We're just going to drive by the situation.
What did he say? The punishment's on its way for him?
Punishment's on the way. Punishment's on the way. The plan isn't special. Collection's made of clay. I'm waiting for the punishment. It's on my way. Yeah, it's interesting.
So you think the whole thing is about that guy? Custer?
I don't think the whole thing.
Okay.
I just think
off.
Thematically speaking, it just talks about like the last stand. It's about saying, it's about
anybody's last stand.
Conceptually, it's a Slipknot song, so it's about going into a situation knowing you're gonna lose, and doing it anyway, knowing you're gonna die, which is interesting because this is on the Gray Chapter, which was the record they did after Paul died.
Okay.
So maybe they were feeling a bit nihilistic. You know what I mean? And so that theme, maybe they thought that the band wasn't going to be able to go forward anymore because he was a real stabilizing influence in the band. He really, really was. Okay. He was the guy, as far as what I read, I mean, I'm not a Slipknot aficionado, but you had Corey, who's a very, vocal kind of alpha dog, and then you had Sean, who was also very vocal and alpha dog, and Sean was more like, he's the clown.
Yeah.
He's a thematic guy. And
didn't his child?
His daughter just died recently. Went to the AIDS open show. So you had two very powerful alpha males who were very intrinsic to the band. I mean, Corey's the singer, and then Sean is the architect. And from what I gather, the few that I've read, Paul was sort of the calming influence. He was an alpha dog too, but he didn't have to go around and show it. He was just everybody defaulted to him, listening to him. So. It must have been a sort of a moment of like, are we going to continue? Do we have it in us to keep going? How do we go without this guy? Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
But then the other time, it's like, well, maybe they wrote this song before he died. You know, who knows? But yeah, it's true. Once you're exceptional, people. You just end up in this weird situation, like we're watching it in the Jordan documentary, where
I'm enjoying watching that with you.
Where Jordan, his teammates were like, "Well, I like this coach because the coach made it more about the team instead of more about Michael." But at the end of the day, anytime you need a game-winning shot, who you're going to go to? You're going to go to Michael.
Yeah.
So it's like. It's that situation that you're
exceptional.
It's that situation that you're in when you're exceptional. You're necessary and people rely on you, but at the same time they hate your guts. They resent you.
Right.
What can you do?
They resent you for making them feel like less than.
Right. And then it says, "You want to win the war? Know what you're fighting for." That's a very, very good line. This there was a line that he did that was very intelligent lyrically, and I was like, here it is. Somewhere in a toilet while I read the words, "You form a line to formalize the former lies." I just like the way that, it's kind of like realize.
You form a line.
To formalize the former lies. Meaning that's generally what happens in the society. Everybody kind of lines up behind certain lies and everybody just goes with it.
That's crazy.
And then when a person finally sees the truth, they're obviously going to find themselves in cross purposes with their given culture.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, when people say, "Trump's a racist, misogynist, and everybody that voted for Trump is a racist, misogynist." And then you go, well, wait a second, wasn't it Hillary Clinton that was running around calling black kids super predators? And wasn't it Joe 330 Biden who wrote the crime bill that sent a whole bunch of black kids in jail and separated them from their fathers for an entire generation? And wasn't it Trump that signed the First Step Act that actually reversed the racist fucking policies of the DNC in the 90s with Clinton? Isn't that? But we're just supposed to line up and say, Trump's a racist bastard. He's the most racist person I've ever seen in my life. Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
And if you question that, then you become a racist.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, that's just one of the many silly lies, or the other lie that the Republican Party is against abortion. Oh, you can't vote for Bernie Sanders and be pro-life. You got to vote Republican, which is a fucking lie. Republicans had a supermajority into the Bush administration, and the most that we got out of the Bush administration was an illegal war that resulted in the deaths of close to 250,000 to anywhere near 1 million Iraqi civilians. That's the Republican Party being pro-life. Yes, I said it. I don't give a fuck how you feel. These are facts. They're lies. It's a lie. The Republican Party is not a pro-life party. How the fuck can you be pro-life when you just killed all those kids over there in Iraq? What was it, 73,000 drone strikes Bush approved?
Over 73, but not, yeah.
What's the civilian?
No, you said Bush?
Yeah, it was Bush. It was 73K, I think.
I thought 73K was what Trump had
73K
done so far.
is Trump so far.
Yeah.
73K was Bush, and then 103,000 was Obama.
Yeah.
So don't get happy.
What now?
Don't get happy if you're a Democrat because I'm going after the Republicans, because your man Obama was fucking worse than Bush. So miss me with that. Is all these lies that people are supposed to believe. So if you're a good soldier, you're a good Republican, you're supposed to line up around the Republicans because they're supposedly pro-life. And you're supposed to think that Trump is an avowed racist if you're on the left. And you're supposed to overlook, that Biden stuff with the crime bill. Oh, Hillary calling those guys super predators. Oh, no. Oh, and now we got the Biden situation with that young lady, Tara Reid. Oh, I don't want to see that.
I remember when I was a kid, I didn't know the difference between being a Democrat or a Republican. Didn't even really know what it meant. I just remember, I remember my father saying that my grandfather always voted Republican. It didn't matter. The policies, nothing mattered. Just go down the line. Republican, Republican, Republican.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was what a lot of people did, or if it was just...
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with that if you do that. What I don't like is the narratives and the value statements that get attached to it. I don't like calling everybody who votes for Trump a racist. Mm-hmm. I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I don't like the concept that the Republican Party is a pro-life party. They're not. Mm-hmm. While New York was passing the kill the babies at 9-month bill, Mr. Trump was talking about it was in a pissing contest with Pelosi about his stupid wall.
Yeah.
They're not pro-life on the Republican side. And Bernie Sanders' abortion policies were absolutely fucking nightmarish. But at least Medicare for All was a pro-life initiative, right? Because then we wouldn't have people dying because they don't have medical coverage like we're seeing right now with this COVID craziness.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, both sides do it, and it pisses me off to no end, and it mind boggles me in this age of social media and things like that, where we've got alternative news outlets, you've got Jimmy Dore, you've got Rising, you've got there's other alternative news sources that you've got The Intercept. There's enough now to where we should no longer fall for the nonsense that both of these sides foist on us. Stop it, please. Please stop it. And a good Christian brother of mine. How can you say you don't have any pro-life credentials? Now, this is exactly how this guy sounds. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the big homie. He's like, you have no pro-life credentials if you say you're going to vote for Bernie Sanders. Unbelievable. Anyway, we continue. So I like that line. You form a line to form a lies to form a lies. Yeah, and they're former lies because both sides have both been exposed now as complete and total fucking hypocrites in the previous concepts that I was talking about. It's already been exposed. So if you're still spouting that nonsense after this time, it's a former lie. It's a lie that's already been exposed as a lie, but we're going to keep doing it, right? We're going to keep acting like Trump. What did Bernie say is the most dangerous president most of our lifetime? Trump is more dangerous than Bush? Okay, we continue. Something so profound, and it was sitting there surrounded by the garbage and the stains and other victims of the refuse. Okay, so that line was on a toilet wall. Mm-hmm. And he's saying, this is a really profound line, and here it is in a toilet, which is a very good point, where you have something that's really significant and helpful to humanity if we would grasp it as a concept, and he finds it in a toilet.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it shows you what a society really, really values.
Yep. I fight fear and I fight hell. What?
Where?
Can you stop scrolling like that?
I don't see where he said that.
I fight hell and I fight fear because I understand it.
Where are you?
I fight hell and I fight fear because I understand it.
Now, I've been saying this for years, but you don't comprehend it. I fight hell and I fight fear because I understand it. Androgyny and insults. You try so hard to be difficult. You want to know how to win the war? Know what you're fighting for. Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's a really good point. Yep. Especially in our current seats and labor. And that's the thing to me. This is going to be a very political discussion.
Well, I think it's both. I think it's the political stuff, and I think it's also important in relationships. Now I like to bring everything to relationships.
Yep, everything's.
You have to know what you're fighting for. You have to know what the, if you're in a fight with somebody, you have to know what's the goal of this fight. What are you trying to accomplish? Mm-hmm. What are you trying to communicate to the person? So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the reason I brought it up to the political situation was because I've been saying the Democratic Party has successfully convinced everybody that the fight we need to wage is a fight against Trump. Mm-hmm. And they've successfully convinced a large majority of this population that all the shit that they were doing was really all the shit that Trump was doing. Yep. So they were the ones that were trying to do the Russia collusion stuff, but they blamed Trump for it. Yep. They were the ones that were doing the quid pro quo stuff with the Ukrainians, but they blamed Trump for it. They're the ones that did things that were impeachable if Hillary was nominated as president, but they impeached Trump. So what they did for the last 4 years, people were like, well, why would they do that when they know they're going to lose because the Republicans had the number in the Senate? It was never about impeaching Trump. I said this for a year on Middle America on the other channel. It was about brainwashing their electorate to believe that Trump was so horrible that no matter what they put in front of us, we were going to have to, what did Miss Biden say, swallow it. That was their strategy. And now, what has happened? Because the left, or the Democratic, or whatever, we don't know what we are fighting for anymore because we're fighting against Trump. So that means we originally were fighting for Medicare for all. We were originally fighting for racial justice, things of that nature. Those were, in 2016, we were anti-corporatist, we're trying to get money out of politics. That was the left in 2016. And so you had all these articulated positions about foreign policy and things like that. And what did the Democratic establishment successfully do? All that got pushed secondarily to defeating Trump.
Yep.
And when you adopted that strategy, then they were able to shove Biden down your throat and then tell you to swallow it and then call you, from the mouth of Bernie Sanders himself, astaghfirullah, irresponsible if you don't vote for who they shove in your face. Why? Because Trump is the greatest problem.
Yeah.
Not the freaking 28 million uninsured Americans, thousands of which are dying every day in America. No, not that. Not getting money out of politics so we don't longer have this crony capitalism bullshit that we've all had to deal with in our entire lifetime. Nope, not that. Not prison reform. Because if it was prison reform, you'd be celebrating the First Step Act, but you can't because Trump did it, and Trump is a greater value than prison reform. All these things happen.
Yep.
And now we're given a guy, God bless him, who doesn't know where he is. Been caught on camera on multiple occasions, who doesn't know where he is and doesn't know who he's talking to. And now we're being told we're irresponsible, not to mention the extremely credible sexual assault cases, which, by the way, I found out today, listening to Rising, that Mr. Biden has a whole bunch of documents that are sealed until his public service is over. That we're told, that's the guy I should vote for,
wrong.
and I'm irresponsible if I don't vote for him. Get the fuck out of here. Bernie, I love you, but you're out of your fucking mind, my guy. I know what I'm fighting for, and it ain't that shit. Now, I can't bring myself to vote for Trump, can't do it. But I'm definitely not voting for Biden. Fuck that. And I'll take my last stand, I'll do what I gotta do. Okay? What do you give the song? I've said
9.8.
like 5 people that
It was heavy. It was.
Maybe
I really
5
like
people
how
that are
heavy
gonna
it was.
thumbs up this video, but I don't give a fuck. I'm saying what I want to say. Okay? I usually censor myself because I've got the Middle America platform, but I
Very
don't.
heavy. I like the
I don't
yelling.
care.
I like the involvement.
I
Of the
like the
crowd.
yelling. I like
It made
the
me want to
anger.
be at a show.
Yes, yes. I wish to God that they would have done that
And
song.
instead, I got a political discussion.
I wish to God they would have done that song. I really do.
I know.
I'm just fired up because the Middle America episode is coming.
I know.
Isabel sent me something that just
Pumped
I
you
just
right up.
lost. I literally had it on my phone and then we went to recording. So there you go. You can thank Isabel Jimenez for this entire rant.
Look at
I'm gonna
this.
give
you
this.
guys should do masks to stories.
I'm gonna give it a 10. I'm gonna give it a 10.
9.8.
You're particularly pretty in this one. I'm not gonna lie. You're still petty though. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Go.
Time to make some motherfucking noise, you crazy bitches! Alive and start raving fry and malign for encroaching on the purpose of this commercial plea and eruption. Due to the prolific nature of this statement, listener aggression is advised. It's times whenever I see a gun, I think about just how petty you are, and it blows my fucking mind. It blows my fucking mind. Shit, I wanna go home. No waste my fucking time. No waste my fucking time. Cause everything exceptional gets crushed by common people. Jealousy and ignorance and all the common evils. This planet isn't special. Complexions made of clay. I'm waiting for the punishment I know is on my way. So God, cut me up and fuck me up. God, cut me up and fuck me up. God, cut me up and fuck me up. Irreverence is modesty. It's in there for you, not me. The son of a bitch is on his knees. The last man standing gets no blood. Somewhere on the toilet wall I read the words you formalized, and I find myself the truth. Something so profound and it was sitting there, surrounded by the gullets and the stars. Another victim of the refuse. Well, I've been saying this for years, but you don't comprehend it. I fight hell and I fight fear because I understand it. Androgyny and insults, you try so hard to be difficult. You wanna win the war? Know what your body for, so cut me up and fuck me up. Cut me up and fuck me up. Irreverence is modesty. It's singing here for you, not me. The son of a bitch is on his knee. The last man standing gets no blood. With angel eyes and demon says, you're missing what you really know.